and today we will be recreating Marvel's classic, The Scarlet Witch. Now today we're going to be doing the 1964 version from the X-Men #4 series from the Silver Age of comics. Let's get started. Wanda Django Maximoff. And for today, we're going to be using this bodysuit I purchased online on Amazon. Just a red satin bodysuit. I think it was 20 bucks or 26, something like that. I spent a little money on this costume, and the reason being is, one, I didn't have most of this stuff. I had the wig. That was pretty much it. I had to buy everything for this one. I personally like to purchase things separately and put my own costume together because it looks more authentic and nobody's going to have my costume when I go out. I'm making my own cape. I purchased some material from Joann's. It's really cool. It's a satin, almost a crushed satin material, and I liked the way it looked and it matched the red on my bodysuit. So that's what I'm going to be making my cape out of. For this, I bought 2.5 yards of material. I wanted the cape to be large and in charge. I wanted it to go all the way down to my feet and blow in the wind. So we're going to be making our own cape with this 2.5 yards of material. I purchased Miss Naughty. These are actually, that's the name of the brand, Miss Naughty Tights. Whatever, it was the color that I needed. It's this sort of magenta pink pantyhose that I found online. Those were like $7. I got a pair of long gloves on eBay, long red satin gloves. I think they were like $5, $7, something like that, not too much. I have a headpiece that I actually purchased on eBay as well. I use eBay a lot. This, it doesn't have a back on it. It'll work for today, I think. But in the picture, it said it had a back on it. It's plastic, the headpiece. I might have to put something on it or hot glue some elastic to it or something. I don't know, just to keep it on my head. This is the long wig. Now, if you watched my Nosferatu video, I was Jessica Rabbit as one of my costumes last year, and this was that wig. I may cut it a little bit, I think, because I want it to be a little shorter. It's really long, so I'm probably going to cut a little bit off of it. And then I got these tall boots. These are like a faux suede boot. I spent the most on these, but with me doing costumes all the time, I can certainly wear these for something else. I liked the fact that they go up in the front. They look like the boots that she wore in some of the photos that I've seen, and that's why I purchased them. And they don't have too crazy of a heel, so if I do want to wear this out, I can go out and be comfortable. I don't do well in really high heels. But anyway, that's the entire costume. We're going old school, 1964 version of the Scarlet Witch. I have my material laid out. As you can see, it's a lot of material. Maceo thinks I laid it out for him. That's not correct. He often thinks these things. Anyway, so I've laid out all my material. You can see it's quite a bit of material. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take progress shots of what I'm going to do with this material. Upon research of the character, I noticed that the Scarlet Witch actually has the material from the cape kind of bunched up around her neck, and it's just very free-flowing. It's imperfect. It's very, very much just a large piece of material that just kind of takes over. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to have it to where it's bunched up around our neck. All I have to do is basically cut out a pattern and sew it to get a smooth edge. So let's go ahead and start on that process. I will take shots as I go. It's makeup time. And if you can tell, I already put some foundation on. I put my flesh tone powder over top of it. You know, just a regular, whatever your flesh tone is, foundation and powder. You don't have to use powder, that's totally optional. I like it because it dries my face a little bit because I'm going to be doing lines and stuff. I don't want my face being all greasy and stuff like that, or like glossy. I want it to be nice and dry, so I apply a powder on top. So for today's makeup, we're going to be obviously making up our face. Our body, our upper body is going to be this pink color. Now, I deviated from my usual Ben Nye product, and I thought I would try the Mabeline. Mabeline has an aqua or liquid set color too, and theirs is it's just Paradise Makeup AQ for aqua. It's a water activated color makeup, just like what Ben Nye has. I thought I'd just give it a shot and see how their product works. I'm sure it works pretty much the same. Like I said, their metallics are really good, so I thought I'd try it. But this is pink, just light pink, and I'm gonna do that on my body. So my upper body. For my legs, if you recall, I got the Miss Naughty pink tights, so that way you just don't have to paint as much. You're not gonna have to worry about it coming off or rubbing off. You can kind of be a little more playful if you're wearing pantyhose, and the least body that you have to cover with the paint. Not that these paints come off very good, especially if you've got your final seal. Now, like I said, Mabeline also makes their own version. It's called Barrier Spray, so either one is fine. So yeah, we're gonna start with our face and go ahead and make that up. I noticed that she was wearing a little bit of jewelry, so I just have some hoops here and a bracelet, so I grabbed those too. What we're going for is the 1964 X-Men #4 version of the Scarlet Witch. And the reason why I chose this Scarlet Witch is because I think she's a lot more fun, a lot more colorful, in my opinion, just more exciting as far as that goes, more theatrics involved with this particular version of the Scarlet Witch. Lately, Marvel and the female characters, they've been going all, you know, leather suit. Gamora and Nebula, and they're all just wearing like a leather suit. They're usually kind of dark. They have some really good recent version of the Scarlet Witch costume. It's cool and all, but I just tend to like more color and just more dynamics to a costume, and I felt like this one was just that. So that said, if you're going online and you're just going to purchase your costume, obviously they have both versions. I didn't particularly like this version that they had, the 64 version. They have the fake boots that you put on over your real boots or whatever, or it's connected to the pantyhose, which is connected to the bodysuit. It's all connected. It's like a bag, a costume in a bag. And they'll run you anywhere from $60 all the way up to $215 if you want like the more recent version with the Olsen sister that plays her. Her name escapes me at the moment, but you know what I'm talking about. The more recent Scarlet Witch, they have the whole thing, a cosplay costume that's really nice, but it's like $200. So it just depends on which one you're going to do and what you want. So let's get started here. Where am I gonna start with? Maybe my eyebrows. Yeah, we gotta have a really strong brow. Anytime you're doing a comic character, you want to have a really strong features. Because that's how it is in the comics. Everything's over exaggerated. So you'll notice, if you haven't already, that I have red contacts. Again, I'm going to tell you, that's optional. You don't have to get contacts. If you do get contacts, I wouldn't get the $5 contacts. They have them ranging from anywhere from $5 up to $100 if you're getting the sclera lenses. I don't trust the $5 contacts, or if they're like 3 for $10 or 3 for $12. For some reason, I don't go there. I get the middle one. Regular middle, colored contacts are gonna run you about $30 if you do want to get them. So I probably paid, with everything that I bought, the material to make the cape, everything total was probably about $100 for the entire costume, which isn't bad considering when you get a costume in a bag, you're not getting like the shoes that come with it. Usually you're not getting the makeup, you're not getting any of that. This is like $100 total is what I paid for everything, including the contacts, the boots, everything. I gotta do some pretty awesome eyebrows, so let's do it. First, have this brown pencil. I'm probably just gonna shape them, This is what I do when I, just do my normal brows. Scarlet Witch. I'm gonna try and make these real dramatic. All of a sudden, I'm getting like a post-nasal thing going on. Great timing. Wanda Django Maximoff. Her character in 1964 in the original comic book, The X-Men #4, she was originally depicted as a reluctant supervillain, which I love. Also, she's more of a member of the Avengers superhero team today, but back then she started out as a villain. Her and her brother Pietro Maximoff, or Quicksilver, kind of were a duo, and they were supervillains. So today she's actually not so bad. Now I've done a brown. It's kind of a light brown, so I've got a darker red tone of hair. I'm just gonna go over it with this red pencil that I have, and hopefully it doesn't break. It just broke. It's about the crappiest pencil I've ever had. It's infallible. I'm gonna say it's fallible though, but it just keeps breaking. I can't sharpen it or anything, but I'm gonna try. So it's a really nice creamy consistency and has a nice bold red color if you can actually get it to do what you want. So that's what we're going for. I just went brown, and then I did that red color. It's Mabeline. No, it just says infallible, so I don't know who makes this. It's not very good though, but it works for today. You can use a red pencil, you can use anything you have to I just wanted a little red tint to my eyebrow, so that's all I did. I just used what I had. Now I've got this, it's a Kat Von D black liner, and I just did a few lines. I'm gonna do a few black lines in it as well, just to kind of make it look more drawn on and cartoonish. How I want that to be. We are a witch after all. Witches are all natural, usually. Alright, the only time I like using a precision liner is when I'm doing lines like that for a cartoon character or something like that. When it's not, I use this stuff, hit or miss, because I just like the brush and the liquid better than I like a pen or marker, because it ends up doing what a marker does. And then when you're trying to do your winged liner, every one that I've tried to use, if you try to correct something or go over it, it'll rub off what you've done. So I can't win with the whole liquid liner thing. I'm just gonna do my other brow just the way I did this one, and then we're gonna move on to the fun stuff. Going right now just to shape it with the brown pencil, and then I'm gonna go over it with the red pencil, and then I'm gonna add some black lines in there for effect, for drama. Oh yeah, another thing that I always like to tell you about the color contacts. If you have an eye condition or your eyes are very sensitive, I don't recommend getting contact lenses, the colored contact lenses. I mean, it's up to you, but don't make your eyes worse than they are if you have eye problems. The costume's gonna be just as great without it, especially if you're watching my videos. I'm just kidding. I just don't want people hurting themselves trying to do exactly what I do. Don't do that. Create the costume to your comfort level. Almost everything is optional. There are so many different versions of the Scarlet Witch. As long as you get the colors right, it's pretty much, you've got the headpiece on, everybody's gonna know who you are. I would recommend looking online, watching, the movie that just came out, and whatever you have to do to just do your own little research. I always research a character before I do it. And if I'm out and about, I even act like the character if I'm out and competing or whatever. Not good doing it. I did my right one fine. I am going to do a cartoon version, so I will be outlining in black and looking very cartoonish. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have serious eyebrows. So the Scarlet Witch has the power to alter reality. It's a pretty cool superpower. She's very dramatic, so I wanted to look dramatic. Have a dramatic brow, and I did that kind of backwards because I never put my red in, but I can go in and put it in now. All right, now she doesn't really wear a whole lot of makeup. I don't think I'm gonna put a lot of eyeshadow or anything on her. I brought it just in case. I don't think I will, but maybe a little bit of brown just to enhance my natural eye, like a shading almost, to be like a shading. So I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, if I even have like a reddish brown, which I do, I'm gonna use that. So I have this Ulta Beauty palette, and there's like a sort of like a terracotta color here. I think I'm gonna use that just in my crease, just to give myself a little bit more drama, as if it was shading my natural skin, It'll look good. I want to make sure it's really nice and blended so that it does look like just shading from the comic book drawing. You can already see how that's really brought out my natural eye. So that's what I'm doing, and it's a terracotta color, so you can use any brands. You can use whatever color you want. Maybe your skin is a different hue. You might want to use a black or something if you're darker complected, or just something right in your crease to make it look shaded. I might put just a slight bit underneath. I think that'll work very good, actually. Just a little more drama. I really like how this looks. I am putting it a little lighter towards the inside and then darker as I go out, as that's how your natural lid is usually shaded. So it'll look good. All right. Now to bring that out, I'm gonna probably just put white on my upper lid. Like it looks natural, but it also enhances your natural beauty. We are highlighting our attributes. There's this peachy white color I'm gonna use in the palette. It really looks more natural. That's what you're going for. I'm gonna do a cat eye, and I'm gonna put on some eyelashes as well. I'm really pleased with that. And it's easier than I had originally planned to do, so that's always good too. These still have a little sticky on them because I had already used them before, so we're gonna do our eyeliner before we do that. So I'm just gonna do a bit of a cat eye, and then after our eyes are done, I'm gonna start doing some lines on my face. So I did one eye. Now I'm just gonna match up the other one. I know for some it's hard to do the cat eye. You're not used to it. And even for me, I mean, I've been doing it for a long time and I don't always get it right. And I had to go off camera to do it because it's hard to talk and do that at the same time, especially when you got contacts in. How I normally always do mine is I go a little bit under the bottom lid too, about halfway. And because I'm doing this with a brush, I'm able to taper it at the end better. That's why I like the brush. The brush just for me is better. It has like a paint. I can go swimming in this stuff and it'll stay on. And I got lucky and I went out and bought another one, and this one was actually pretty good. About every fourth one I end up getting a good one. At least they're not all bad. All right, now I'm gonna do my second one. Kind of show you. This is how I do it. I don't even really line it up. I just keep going until they're both even. So the cape for the Scarlet Witch was the only thing I had to make with this costume, and I'm pretty sure Betsy Ross took less time sewing the flag, so it took a long time because I hand sewed everything. When I took my progress shots, all of the edges were hand sewn just for a flat edge. You can hot glue if you want for a flat edge. I don't do it with things that I want to flow really well because it's going to be stiff on the edges and it's going to add weight as well. So hot glue is kind of heavy and it's very stiff. So it's not going to flow as well as you might like it to. And that is why I chose to hand sew. I do have a sewing machine. I just don't know how to use it yet. Every time I'm like, let's get started on that, I get busy with something else. And lately I've been really busy, so see what I mean? I'm just going to go back over this one because I want it to be more dramatic. So we're just gonna try and match this one up to it. That's how I kind of check to see if they're even as I do this, and I can see if they're even. I think because this is a comic book character and their eyes generally are wide, they have big, bright eyes usually. I'm going to use a white grease pencil for my waterline. It just works so well. So I'm gonna do that. Again, we're over dramatic in the comic. It looks cool. All right, eyelash time. I'll do that off camera. You know how to put eyelashes on. But I will say, if you haven't watched any of my other videos and you don't really know the order of operations for eyelashes, you're gonna wanna put all of your eye makeup, do all of your eye makeup, contacts, everything first. And then you're gonna apply, which I already did off camera, you're gonna apply a mascara, any mascara, and whatever you're using. And then you're going to put your eyelashes on. It's the last thing you do with the eyes. All right, I'm gonna do a little blush. And kind of to match my kind of terracotta eyes, you know, the shading in my eyes, I think I'm gonna do my blush to kind of match the shading on my eyes. So I'm just gonna do this one that I do a lot. It's kind of like, it's a brown color. She's real normal on the top. And then she's pink on the, you know, from her neck down. I'm not gonna do my neck, paint my neck. Neck's gonna stay flesh tone, but from the bottom of my neck down is gonna be pink. And I want drama, so it's kind of dark. All right, there's that. I have this precision pen and I'm gonna do some lines on my face to look like a cartoon character. So naturally the nose, see I'm kind of greasy already, I can tell. Almost as if you were doing a drawing yourself, sketching someone out, you know, wherever the lines would be. I'm gonna do right where my cheekbones are. Yeah, this is why I don't do precision pens often, because they will rub off what you've already done. And my paint doesn't do that, so I'll probably just go over it with my liquid liner, my Mabeline waterproof liquid liner. That stuff's, I mean, when it's on, it's on. I've never done the Scarlet Witch before. This is my first time. I'm actually trying to think of other Marvel characters, female characters that I can do. So if y'all have any ideas, please put them down in the comment section down below, because I'd love to, you know, do more like interesting looking ones, you know. I also have some male ones coming up, at least one I can think of. See, that just got all weird. All right, let me just, I'm mixing that. I would even go with a pencil over that. Black pencil works better. That was the Kat Von D precision pen, and it's just, you know, I've had it for a while. It could be because of that, but I don't recall it ever working very well. So, but the only time I tend to use that is stuff like this, where I'm drawing lines. So you can see how it's just like a subtle outline, just like if you were a drawing. I want to go down my jawline, do the same thing, and that's what I want to do there with my face. Anyway, I think I'm going to do a little white on my nose just to highlight with this grease pencil the parts that are protrudent, my chin, like maybe a little under my eyes. This is just a cheap grease pencil, but its color is so good. So I just thought I'll just use that for highlighting. It's working. You can get these in a pack of like 6 during Halloween, or even online, I'm sure they have them. And maybe a little bit on my forehead as well, just right in the front. I'm just kind of smearing it around with my finger. I'm trying to do my best to look like a drawing. Now, I'm gonna line my lips in black liner. And then of course red lipstick. You're gonna go just outside your actual lip. Those little lines are gonna help you with your points at the top. Now, of course, we have our crimson lipstick. Crimson is just a fancy word for red. Any red lipstick you have. This is just Mabeline, it's nothing fancy. Mabeline number 385. It's called Ruby for Me, and it's very red. I know in this lighting I probably look really white, but it's not. You'll see in the pictures. We'll probably have better lighting. You can see how I kind of look drawn. I'm gonna even do a couple of these lines. I don't want to overdo it though. I don't want to look like evil. Even though she's considered a villain, she was still very beautiful, so nothing too crazy. All right, that looks good. Now it's time to pink ourselves. And remember, we're just going from the bottom of our neck, anything that's going to be showing up top. Arms, because we have pantyhose for the bottom. So actually I may go ahead and put on, I'm gonna do this first. And then I'll stop, put on my costume and do the rest off camera, since I've got you know what I mean. All right, you're gonna apply with water. Now, I always have my water next to me. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, just a bowl of water. It looks a little murky because I had a little white still left in my sponge, but that's not gonna really affect anything. And I just squeezed out my sponge. You don't want it soaking wet, you just want it damp. So squeeze out any excess water, and you're just gonna apply it to your skin, just like that. See that pinky? Oh, it is light pink. It's light pink. All right, it's pretty good. It works just like the Ben Nye. I can handle it. All right, you know what to do. Arms, chest, back, anything that's gonna be showing in your leotard. Next time you see me, I'll be in costume. All dressed up and ready for photos. See you in a minute. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you loved today's look. I'm going to start putting down down below in the description what I used for my costumes, where I found them on eBay, Amazon, you know, what kind of materials that I bought, and maybe that'll help you a little bit in your search for finding the right costume. If you loved this video, there's going to be plenty of others. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. That does it for today's costume. I'll see you next time.